Hi, my growing young buddies. So, once again, you are back with your Grammar Buddy Mini, and we are at your favorite learning platform. What's that? Yes, that's Learn Forward. And we are here with your book, The Grammar Hub by Feathercap. What are we going to learn today? I hope you are enjoying learning grammar with me. Yes, very nice. So, we'll be starting chapter 16 of your book today that talks about prepositions. By now, you know what are prepositions. So, can you give me some examples? Perfect. In, on, under. Anything else? Okay, with, by. That's great. Yes, of course. In front of and behind, near. All these are prepositions. So, let's see what new today. Are you ready? Okay. So here's an exercise for you. Match the following columns to make complete sentences. Here we have in one part the subjects and then we have the rest of the sentence that is called the predicate. Anyhow, the sentence has been split into two parts and we have to make them complete. Let's complete them. The lion. So which one is the correct? Is very costly, shines in the sky at night, rises in the east, roared loudly, or delivers letters? Yes, perfect answer. Roared loudly. And what about the sun? Yes, the sun shines in the rises in the east. The sun also shines, but then it does not shine at night. So you cannot go for this, right? My pen. Oh, is very costly. Do you think we should go for such costly pens? No. Next, the postman. Yes, delivers letters. And what about the moon? That shines in the sky at night. Perfect answer. So, you could all make the sentences perfectly. So, let's get started with the journey ahead. What is a sentence? I've just told you sentence is a group of words, and more important thing is that group of words must give you a complete meaning, a complete sense, right? So here we have some groups of words. Let's see how they are sentences. Computers is the selling, not the salesman. Isn't it a group of words? So are you getting any meaning out of it? Can you make a sense what the other person wants to tell? No, that means this is not a sentence. Let us try to unscramble them, rearrange them and make a sentence if possible. Let's see if we write it like the salesman is not selling computers. So will that give you a complete meaning? Is it conveying the sense? Yes. So that becomes your sentence. The salesman is not selling computers. Of course, this is a sentence now because it is conveying its complete meaning. Come to the next. Programmers, computer programs create. Again, no sense. That means it is just a collection of words, a group of words. But if you rearrange them and write like programmers create computer programs, that gives you a complete meaning. Programmers create computer programs and that becomes a sentence. Now, one more thing, the same is with the other groups of words also. Here they are not making the sense. We have just rearranged them. And if you read this part of the screen, you will understand that yes, these groups of words are making sense. So they are sentences. When do you go to school? Yes, that's a question. Show me your exercise book. Again, that is a sentence. Alas, the dog fell into the gutter. Yes, that also is a sentence. It's giving complete meaning. Now, what you would have noticed is these are all groups of words and here all the words are starting with small letter until and unless there is some proper noun. Okay, but here we see all are starting with a small letter. But what do you see here? These sentences, because these are sentences, these are giving you complete meaning. So we are beginning all of them with a capital letter, children. And at the end, either we are putting a full stop, a mark of exclamation or a question mark, depending on what type of sentence it is. Isn't it? If this group of words I would have arranged like, is the salesman not selling computers? That becomes an interrogative sentence. That is also a correct reordering of these words. But because it will be interrogative, a question we are putting, so I'll put a question mark at the end. This is what you have to remember. So, a sentence is a group of words that makes complete sense. It begins with a capital letter and it ends with a full stop, a question mark, or a mark of exclamation. And then a sentence can be, we have read in our earlier classes, in our lower grades, what are the different kinds of sentences? A sentence can be a statement, it can be a question, it can be an order or advice, it can be a feeling, it can express a feeling in the form of exclamatory sentences also. So going ahead, we'll be learning about the different kinds of sentences. So are you ready for the journey ahead? Good, that's great. So what are the different types of sentences? In your previous grade, you have learned that the sentences may be statements, they may be questions. Yes, very good. Very nice. They may be order or command. We can say both. Or they may be exclamations, right? Now, based on this knowledge, we'll be learning the different names for the different kinds of sentences. The statements are, we call them, they are declarative sentences or assertive. This is the name given to statements. They may be declarative sentences or assertive sentences. So what is declarative or assertive? Declarative comes from the word declare. When you say something, assertive also comes from the word assertion, right? That means to say something. Now, assertive or declarative sentences can be of two types. They can be affirmative. Affirmative means in a positive way, which do the sentences which give a positive statement. They do not have not with them. No, negate words are not there. No, not, never, like this. Such words are not here. And the second type of assertive or declarative sentences are negative sentences, children. So these negative sentences, as the word is there, negative comes from negation. That means no. So when we use the words no, not, never, nothing, that have no in them. So such words make the sentences negative. That means something is in negation, right? The next type of sentences are in which we ask questions. Yes, very nice. They are called interrogative sentences. Now, declarative or assertive sentences may be affirmative or negative. Both of them end with a full stop at the end. But what do you put at the end of interrogative sentences? Yes, you put a question mark at the end. Now, the next type of sentence is order or command. So, order or command, these are called imperative sentences in which you give an order, you request somebody, or you give a command to somebody. So these are imperative sentences. We'll be learning in detail ahead. Exclamations are the exclamatory sentences. They are called exclamatory sentences and they express your sudden feeling. We put a mark of exclamation at the end. So this was just in brief. Let's learn about them in detail now. The first one is declarative or assertive sentences. I have told you they are just statements, right? And they can be positive statements when we call them affirmative sentences, or they may include no, not, never. They become negative sentences like he is the headmaster of the school. So we are just stating something, we are telling something. So this is your affirmative sentence. Anshika has not come back home. Now here in the sentence you are using not. So it becomes a negative sentence, right? And these sentences end with a full stop. Now your this yes no questions are those for which the answer you get is only yes or no. For example, if the teacher asks you, have you done your work? Is she here? So for these sentences, you will just give the answer in yes or no. But for the other sentences, other interrogative sentences, if we ask, where do you live? What is your name? So for such questions, you are not going to just say yes or no, isn't it? So we have two types of interrogative sentences. The first one is yes no questions. These are interrogative sentences. Interrogative sentences are the sentences that ask questions. And we use a question mark at the end of these sentences. So they are of two types. What are they? One is the yes no answer and the other one is question word WH words. WH words are the question words what, when, where, why, who, whose, like that. Okay, so these are the two types of interrogative sentences. Let's read some examples here. Is he your brother? If he is, you will say yes. If he is not, you will say no. So what are the only two possibilities for such questions? Yes, no. Next is, are you fond of dancing? Somebody may be, somebody else may not be. So what will you say? Either you will say yes if it's your choice. If no, then you will say no if it's not your choice. So if you are not fond, you will say no, or you will say yes. That's it. So only two possibilities. Such interrogative sentences are the yes no questions. And further, when you say who, whose, whom, why, which, when, where, whom, all these words are the question words and they are called the question sentences, question interrogatives, right? WH questions are these. Now what you have to remember here is who, whose, whom. All these three question words are used only for persons, right? For example, who is your teacher? So you are going to give the name of your teacher. So whose book is this? You are going to give a name there again. And then whom do you uh, like the most, right? Whom do you like the most? Whom are you going to give this book to, right? So again, we are talking about a person. So these are used only for persons. Now who is out of these, who is used when we talk about the subject? Like if we are asking who is your teacher, so we are talking about a subject here. Okay, but if I say whom will you give this notebook, now the action of giving is to be done to that person for whom we are talking, about whom we are talking. That becomes the object. And who is giving the book? You. My question is, whom will you give this book? Whom will you give this book? Right? Now, what is the action here? The action here is give. What is the subject here? You. Who is going to give? You. So that is the doer of action. And who is the receiver? Here we don't know. We are putting the question for the object. So what we observed, this is used as an object. Who is used as a subject? Whom is used as an object? This is the subject. So who invited you? The invitation is given by the subject who. And whom will you invite? So now you is the subject and whom is the object. Whom are you inviting? So this is the object here. I hope it's clear to you, subject, object. Okay. Now what? What can be used for both persons as well as things, right? Just like the conjunction, the word that, we have done in relative pronouns, that can be used for both when we talk about persons as well as things. Similarly, what can be a question word which is used for both persons as well as things? What is in your pocket? Here we are talking about something. So this we have used for thing. I have a pen in my pocket. I have a handkerchief in my pocket. Anything you can have. And what is your father? Yes. Have you ever heard this question before? What is your father? No. What is your father means we are talking about the profession of your father. When we want to know the name, the identity of your father, we say, who is your father? Or we say, what is your father's name? Right? That means there you have to tell the name of your father. But when somebody asks you, what is your father? Don't take it as an absurd question. Okay? It means the person wants to know about what your father does. So you will give an answer like, my father is an engineer, my father is a doctor, my father is a teacher, my father is a scientist, or if he is, my father is a businessman, he's an entrepreneur, right? So what you have to remember is what is used for both persons as well as things, and especially in this question when we say, what is your father, what is your mother, that means we are talking about, yes, their profession. That means the role they play, the work they do. Fine? Interesting to know? Shall we move ahead now? Okay. Now, going ahead with interrogatives again, we have another thing there that is called the question tags, children. What is a question tag? Sometimes we say a sentence and it is followed by a very small question type. What is it? Like I will say, you have participated in the program, but I am not sure and I want a confirmation from you. So what will I say? As per my knowledge, I know that you have participated in the program, but I want a confirmation from you. So I will say, you have participated in the function, haven't you? So this haven't you is a small question which is added at the end of a statement, at the end of a sentence to get the confirmation from the other side. This small question is called the question tag. It's just like a tag on your, yes, whatever stuff you buy from the market. A question tag is a group of words which is added to a statement to turn it into a question. So that looks, that sounds, with that very small question, that sounds like we are asking something. We use question tags. Why do we use them? To ask what we said is true or not. This is what I said, for getting the confirmation. That means just to know whether what I said is correct or not. To ask if the other person agrees to it or not. That means to take somebody's consent also. Right? Now, the thing is, now the point to learn is how to form these question tags. So to form these question tags, what you have to do, a very simple thing is, first thing is, whenever your statement is affirmative, your question tag will be negative. So we have two things, your statement and your question tag. If your sentence is positive, your question tag, children, will be negative. That means it will carry no not. Not, of course. And when it is negative, here you are negating something, then your question tag will be positive. This is the first thing to remember. And the second important thing is, from your statement, you will just pick out the helping verb. And that helping verb will be used in the question tag. Only that helping verb will be used. How? Let's see. With a positive sentence, I've just told you, you can run fast. So first tell me, is it a positive sentence or a negative? Yes, this is a positive. That means an affirmative sentence. Now the second thing you have to do is pick out the helping verb in this sentence. What is it? Can. Very good. Can is the helping verb here. Now the simple thing is, put a comma after this sentence. and because it is positive, you will make it negative. We have already learned the rules of making the sentences negative. After the helping verb, we have to use not, and here it should be in its contraction form, right? What do you mean by contraction? We have learnt earlier. Is not becomes isn't, was not becomes wasn't, cannot becomes can't, did not becomes didn't, like that. These are all contractions of the negative helping of the negations. So can become can't, and then we will just write the subject after it. So your sentence becomes, you can run fast, can't you? And remember, it will not start with a capital letter. After comma, this will start like with a small letter only. And let's read a sentence in negation also. You did not see me. Now, first thing is, this is negative sentence. So we will use a positive question tag. And what is the helping verb here? Did. This will be used as it is now. So it will be, you did not see me. Did, and then the subject. Did you? That means I thought you did not see me, but actually, did you see me? So this is your question tag here. Right? I hope it is clear to you. What you have to remember is this, and then the formation will be helping verb plus your subject if you have to make it positive. And if you have to put it negative, then it will be helping verb plus not. But remember, this will be in its contraction form. This will be in its contraction, right? So this plus subject. Isn't that easy? So we'll focus on this, right? So up to here, is everything clear to you? We still have more to learn in kinds of sentences. We'll be doing subject predicate also in the coming session. Till then, children, enjoy your learning and have a nice time. Happy learning.